This isn't Republicans. This isn't MAGA. This isn't Republicans trying to break into the DNC. This is Democrats fighting amongst each other. They're all protesting the Kamala Harris DNC, getting her inaugurated, or getting her elected, I guess, officially. And they hate it. I asked all these people, are they voting for Kamala Harris? They've said no. This is an internal war. It's going to help out Republicans tremendously. Democrats, you're in shambles right now. What's going on here?
Killer Kamala is her name. Killing children is her game. I mean, that's what they're chanting in Chicago at this Democrat National Convention Day. It's Killer Kamala and Genocide Joe. This is precisely what so many were predicting was going to happen this week. The civil war that's blowing up inside the Democrat Party was going to blow up at the convention, and here we are. And here we are. Great to see all of you again. It's live stream Monday night, the first one we've had in a few weeks. I've been across the pond, and Europe got a little sick, actually, towards the end, so I'm losing my voice, slowly coming back, as it were. As always, I am your host, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Great to be back with each and every one of you. We've got our exclusive Monday night backstage private Q&A tonight. If you'd like to join our private virtual platform and ask me your questions, just click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com. As you can see there at the bottom, sign up for any level of support, and you'll be given your very own backstage pass to ask me anything you like, as well as fellowship online with some of the coolest patriots in the world. Just click on that link below, become a supporter at any level, and we will transition to our private virtual platform in mere moments, where we will have the most wonderful Patriot fellowship time together. And we also have our weekly boycott and boycott update, so you can learn to vote with your wallet and help build the parallel economy you absolutely love. So just click on that link below to sign up. So as you can see, the DNC, the Democrat National Convention, is not going quite the way the Democrat establishment media had hoped it would. It's interesting that Democrats want to defund the police, except when it comes to needing them to surround the DNC to protect them from their own ilk. Very, very interesting. There are now reports, Fox News was actually just talking about this. There are now reports that an estimated 100,000 protesters are expected to descend on Chicago over the course of this week. 100,000. Obviously, the media's going to do everything they possibly can to hide it from their dwindling audience. But 100,000, if that number, they hit that number, that's going to be a very, very tall order to hide, especially with social media, Twitter, X now, of course, TikTok, Instagram. It's going to be extremely difficult to hide numbers like that, and the disruptive element of that, especially given that all the participants in these protests, they're going to be doing everything they possibly can to amplify, right? They maximize their impact by amplifying these protests on their own social media accounts. Again, we talk about this often on this channel. There was a time the media could have done that. There was a time the media could have censored by omitting, as it were, but we're living in an era now known as the network society, and that's just simply impossible today. And this is because the network society is unique in that it transcends our own proximity, right? And normally populations relate to each other by virtue of our proximity to one another. That's just simply not the case with the network society anymore. We relate to each other through our shared hyper-connectedness in a network, namely the internet, just like we're all doing right now with each other. And that means that we get to transcend our proximity. We can hang out with each other from anywhere in the world. And it also means that the censorship mechanisms that the legacy media used to employ in the past, simply refusing to cover an event, and therefore nobody knew about the event. When there were just a few news channels out there, or just a couple of cable news outlets, and just a handful of major newspapers. They're all basically covering the same thing, whatever the New York Times was covering or the AP was covering. Those days are over. Those days are over. The legacy media no longer has that kind of censorship capability, precisely because social media, through the network society, is able to bypass the legacy media in a manner comparable to the way email and texting bypasses the post office. Or another way of putting it is that the legacy media can no more control the dissemination of information out there than can the post office. They're basic. We still use them, but they're very outdated. So if that turns out to be the case, if we are seeing 100,000 plus descending upon Chicago to protest Killer Kamala and Genocide Joe, that's going to be a very, very poignant reminder of just how radical the Democrat Party really is. We're going to see it all over social media. There's simply no hiding it. And the country is going to be treated to 1968 all over again. It is literally going to be comparable to what happened in 68 in Chicago, ironically, that helped to usher in a Nixon landslide, a Nixon blowout in 68, and then even a bigger one in 72. And I think we're seeing something like that happening here as well. Now, make no mistake, what we're seeing here in Chicago right now is the fallout from a very real internal civil war that's happening inside the Democrat Party between pro-Palestinian progressives on the one side and pro-Israeli liberals on the other. Many of you may know, you may have heard that Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who is Jewish, who will obviously be more on that pro-Israeli liberal side, he was, by the way, as we know, most likely passed over as a vice presidential candidate precisely because of his Jewish ethnicity. It's also because Kamala's people know they're in danger of being Kamala. They're in danger of Kamala being the first Democrat to actually lose the state of Minnesota in literally decades. Even Walter Mondale was still able to pull off Minnesota in 84. So she had to pick their creepy, weird governor as a way to try to keep Minnesota in their column. But regardless, Shapiro is boycotting this convention. He is not attending as a protest over the way Democrats, he believes, are placating anti-Semitism. Again, we do have to underscore, we just have to let this hit us, that it is widely acknowledged that Kamala, at least in part, bypassed Shapiro precisely because, as a VP candidate, precisely because he was Jewish. And she knows that would have fanned the flames of this internal civil war that's happening. And it would have lost her Michigan, given the density of Arab American voters in places like Dearborn, that Biden won with 70% of the vote in Dearborn, Michigan. So the Democrat Party, again, the legacy media will never, ever admit this, but the Democrat Party literally bypassed a candidate for VP precisely because he was Jewish. I mean, you just have to let that hit you. This is how radical they've become, right? But we're all the racists, right? So Shapiro is not alone in his boycotting the Democrat National Convention. His fellow Pennsylvanian John Fetterman, Senator Fetterman, he's also boycotting this convention over similar concerns. He's very pro-Israel, and he does not see those sentiments shared among the Democrat leadership, which he also accuses of being virulently anti-Semitic. And yet, ironically, the legacy media wants you to think that everything is totally hunky-dory here at this convention in Chicago, that there's no tension whatsoever going on here in the Democratic Party. They are more united than ever before. I kid you not. I'm not making this. Take a look at this headline from Politico. It's just stunning. You could see the little blurb on the top there. This, and I want you to keep in mind, this is real. This isn't made up. This isn't the Babylon Bee. Quote, Democrats arrive in Chicago as a party lacking drama. Killer Kamala. Genocide Joe. You heard the chants, right? Democrats arrive in Chicago as a party lacking drama. They are disciplined, orderly, and united around VP Kamala Harris, and more to the point, watching former President Trump's or overcoming former President Trump's restoration. This is what passes as journalism today. And they wonder why they're collapsing. This is what passes as journalism in our modern globalist liberal era. That's not even liberal anymore. It's neo-feudalist. It's an establishment elite, a managerial class that functions in a monolithic way so as to maintain their position of power and authority over the masses. That's what our legacy media has become, the mouthpiece of the managerial class. They're so beyond absurd at this point. It's literally laughable. Now, speaking of laughter, you want to see how disciplined, right? How orderly the Democrat Party is, right? That's what Politico tries to convince you of. They are disciplined. They are orderly. Wait until you see this farce. You are going to absolutely love it. A farce at the expense, of course, of Cackle's Kamala. It just says so much of what the Democrat Party really is and how pathetic Politico is as a mouthpiece for the DNC. But first, gang, if you are just joining us, we've got our exclusive backstage private Q&A tonight. So if you'd like to join our private virtual platform and ask me your questions, just click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com. That is fight.turleytalks.com. Sign up for any level of support that you like, whatever works for you, and we will send you immediately your link to your own backstage pass. Ask me anything you like. Just click on that link below, become a supporter at any level, and we'll transition to our private virtual platform in mere moments from now, where you will have the most wonderful Patriot Fellowship imaginable. And don't forget, we also have the our weekly boycott updates, so you can learn to vote with your wallet and help build a parallel economy. Just click on that link below, fight.turleytalks.com. Gang, take a look at this. This is crazy. This is hilarious. You may have seen this. This just came out today. What you're looking at are portions of the Democrat national platform. Okay, this is the official political platform of the Democrat Party. It's just released today, and it will show you, just contrary to what Politico tried to gaslight you on, it will show you just how pathetically poorly run the Democrat Party really is. Again, the media wants you to think this is the most amazing administration, most disciplined, competent administration we've ever seen in the history of the American Republic that we're about to destroy, right? This is a screenshot of their official platform. It's all over social media today. Their official platform, which in several places cites as their standard bearer of their political platform President Biden. You can see it over and over again. It mentions President Biden and his second term. This is what President Biden will do. This is what he pledges to do in his second term. Biden is mentioned over and over and over again in this platform that they just released today. They literally forgot to switch out their candidate. These people are so freaking incompetent that they published their official platform, but forgot to switch out in numerous places Biden's replacement. You can't make this stuff up. It's insane. They mention it over and over again. Biden's second term is going to be epic. Joe Biden will do this. Joe Biden will do that. He's not even running. He's not even running. In fact, the Kamala convention is so freaking wicked in their coup, their ongoing coup against Biden, that they have consigned his speech to tonight, one of the least watched nights of the week-long convention. He's been consigned to Monday night. I mean, this is like when you go to a concert, this is the warm-up band. It's just so embarrassing. He won't be seen at the convention, as I understand it, from this point forward. It's tonight, and he's gone. They gave him they gave him the warm-up position. They gave him the most pathetic, ridiculous speaking slot that anyone could imagine getting. But the irony here, again, with this platform, it's Kamala who's getting utterly humiliated here. Their official party platform says it's Joe who's going to be carrying the mantle into 2024, not Kamala. Unbelievable. Insane. And yet Politico wants you to think these are the most competent people imaginable. And there's no controversy. There's no protest. They're totally united around Kamala. Killer Kamala. All right, we got tons to talk about tonight, obviously, and we're going to do just that. So last chance, we're going to move on over to our exclusive backstage virtual platform for our Q&A, our live Q&A. If you want to join us, just click on that link below, or you can just sign up for any level, or just go to fight.turleytalks.com, sign up for any level of support, and you'll be given a link, your very own backstage pass. Ask me anything you like. We also have our boycott updates, so you can vote with your wallet and help build the parallel economy. So I'll see you over there in 30 seconds. God bless, gang.